Okay, we have a 1-land hand. It is unfortunately a tap land. Witch's Cottage is pretty awkward here. I think I want to mull this. Well, this one has a lot of lands, but we can get rid of one of them to the mulligan. And we can at least play a 1-drop on turn 1. Okay, so they're going to be playing Affinity. Oh, we get another land off the top. Well, we needed the 3rd for the Tempting Witch, but no more lands, please, deck. Prism, okay. So currently we don't have a play for turn 2. Oh, there we go. We can Geth's Verdict to that. And attack for 1. Morning Crown? How's the day find ya? Same. This is fine. Ooh, okay, so that puts a 3/3 blocker in front of my creatures. That's going to be awkward. We do get Carrion Feeder. That's quite nice. So we have a choice between playing Carrion Feeder, attack with Scorpion, sack it, unearth it, or we could play Tempting Witch. We might also want to use the Scorpion just to block the Recruiter, then sack to Feeder. But that wouldn't be very good for Unearth at this turn. I'm going to throw down the Witch here. Give us a little bit of reach for any food that we find in the future. Opponent's creatures, for the most part, are all going to be better than ours. So we're going to have to find other ways to take care of them. Okay, Lampad, not bad. Just thinking about this Witch's Cottage, and if I want to put Tempting Witch, for example, on top of the library, that wouldn't be too bad, right? Then I could make another food, and that would be 6 damage. We could do the opponent that way. We should probably attack with the 2 then, and then just sacrifice whichever one that the opponent blocks. Ooh, Unearth on the Witch should also be pretty good. So we'll have to keep the Unearth so that we can bring the Witch back over and over. and get more food so that we can kill the opponent with some reach. Ooh, Galvanic Blast on the Carrion Feeder, and we don't have mana for the Lampad. Okay, they're getting busy with the recruit, so they probably have another creature to follow this up with. Another recruit. And a Tog. Tog is definitely a problem. If their one card left is Fling, we are in a heap of trouble. Alright, we'll pass here so that we can use Serrated Scorpion as a blocker and then sacrifice it to the Lampad, netting ourselves a 6 life swing. Ooh, that's a problem. So I think we'll just have to sacrifice the Lampad to itself then to get the value. We can use Unearth to get the Lampad back. Okay, here we'll block Tog. Sacrificing the Chromatic Star will draw them an extra card, so it's basically free. Another land. I think that maybe we play too many lands in this deck. It's the Cauldron Familiar list. It's something in between Blackburn and the old Black Suicide. So I definitely have to block the Tog. And I think I have to do it with the Lampad, because the Tempting Witch is going to get some more damage through with this food. They'll have to sacrifice an artifact to kill the Lampad here. Otherwise they bounce. Okay, they'll lose a land for it. Okay, we get the Cauldron Familiar. I think we'll attack with the Tempting Witch. We'll block with Cauldron Familiar. That gets us to 7. This puts the opponent to 4, so we're almost there. Of course, we could also sacrifice the food to return the familiar, which only drains for 1, but gets us a blocker for the ATOG again. Oh, a second TOG. So we're definitely going to be bringing in a bit of targeted to removal. Carrion Feeder. I think that's GG. We can only block 1 creature. We could block both Togs, and then we'll take 6, 7. So yeah, that's toast. Okay, so we'll bring in the cast down. And maybe Crypt Rats as well? Opponent is playing with a lot of creatures, so Crypt Rats could be a pretty good way to get rid of them. Fleshbag Marauder is another option. It can get rid of the Togs. And I think we're going to get rid of... Let's see here. We're going to get rid of the Geth's Verdict for the cast down. Okay, no lands. We're going to have to mull. Okay, this is a hand we can keep. Even has Snuff Out. And I think we'll get rid of... We have the Crypt Rats here, so we probably don't want to be too heavy on our creatures. Maybe we'll just keep the Cauldron Familiar. And then we'll have Defile and Snuff Out to take care of their early threats. If we can wait long enough, Crypt Rats might be able to 2 for 1. But we're not putting up very much pressure here at the start, that's for sure. If we put Crypt Rats out now, we're going to be able to do extra damage over time, but we risk it dying to a Galvanic Blast. Okay, they do have the blast, so we lose our rats. We are going to be able to kill these two creatures, though. After that, we're in a bit of trouble. Another Prophetic Prism to draw a card. I'm hoping they don't put any creatures down onto the board this turn. No, they got a big old 4/4 in the way. Well, their creatures are much bigger than ours. Let's see if we can find a removal spell so we can keep hitting them. But we're heading up into turn 5 here, and we aren't putting up very much pressure. Witch's Cottage can get the Crypt Rats back on top of the library. That's good news. Ahoy there, Morgancorn. Nice to see you again. How you doing today? Yes, indeed. Okay, no Galv Blast this turn from the opponent. We got lucky. No kidding. 6 Pauper decks. So which ones did you sleeve up? Please let us know what you decided to play in Pauper. Ooh, they're putting down the Tog. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 artifacts. Tog is a pain here. Oh, they're already doing stuff? Do they just have Fling? So we're probably just straight up dead here. Ooh, nice list. They're going to play well together, too. Not a great hand, but we have the golden eggs to redraw. We can Geth's Verdict, their first blocker. Yeah, if you end up looking for Cooper the Red on Twitter, you're going to find a totally different person. I actually do not do the Twitter thing. Ooh, Gingerbrute's a good draw, so we can start getting in with that. Cool. Yeah, we were having a little bit of party with the announcement of the banning of Fall from Favor. Definitely happy that card is gone. Will not miss it. Okay, we're going to play the Golden Egg here, just for mana efficiency. So we can get the Serrated Scorpion Golden Egg out next turn. So yeah, that was a pretty good step, getting rid of Fall from Favor. I think that Wizards didn't quite go far enough, but I appreciate that they got rid of the problem card. Okay, let's snuff out the Oracle so that we can get in for another damage with the Brute. Oh, that's brutal. Yeah, and Blue has taken quite a few hits over the years, losing Daze, Gataxian Probe, Gush. High Tide never even got to be played. And despite all that, some of the best decks are still the Blue Faeries decks. That's true. Mystic Sanctuary. That card was busted. Okay, Sunscape Familiar. We're going to snuff that out too. Maybe use a Geth's Verdict. We'll see what we draw. Village Rites. That's interesting. Okay, Geth's Verdict. We'll play the Scorpion and attack for 2. And then we'll Village Rites the Scorpion. Ooh, the Cauldron Familiar is interesting with Carrion Feeder and all these golden eggs. That's going to be pretty good damage, actually. You want to prohibit that? Yeah, you don't. Okay, how much damage is this? 1, 2, 3... Okay, they're conceding here, because it is going to be quite a bit of damage. When the thing is working, it looks pretty impressive. So what do we want versus this deck? I think we want Mesmeric Fiend, so that we can pull the flickers and the prohibits out of their hand. But maybe Fiend is more for Tron. Our opponent's deck does have quite a few spells, though, that we would like to take. I like the sacrifice effects versus our opponent's deck, because the sacrifice effect will still be on the stack after they flicker a creature, so they'll still have to sacrifice. That's the idea, anyway. We could also bring in Crypt Rats. That could be a pretty good blowout there. So we got a bunch of beetles. The beetles by themselves aren't very scary, but if we can get anything else running while we have 3 beetles on board, they're going to become an oppressive threat. So let's see if we can draw some goods. Mesmeric Fiend, okay. Mesmeric Fiend, you might notice, has 2 paragraphs of text here. And what that means is that it has 2 separate triggers. Some people, if you're familiar with this, you'll know that if we sacrifice Fiend with its first trigger on the stack, then we can get the other trigger to go off first, meaning that we can take a card away forever. So sacrificing the Gingerbrute will up these Mortician Beetles to 2/2s, but I think we can do a little bit better. Oh, they have Echoing Truth. Okay, well that negates our first 2 turns. We could Mesmeric Fiend at this point. But again, I would like to have some way to sacrifice the Fiend with its trigger on the stack. I think we'll just put out 2 beetles and play the Cottage tapped. Yep, Tide Hollow Sculler is another thing it works with. It also works with the new card, Skyclave Apparition. Okay, they're going to Last Breath. Well, they don't get a token if, what's name? Exactly. Okay, that's the 4th beetle. We've got all the beetles. Well, I mean, it's only fair, right? We got these beetles. We want to punch people with the beetles. It all makes sense, right? Ooh, okay, so they're tapping out. We're going to be able to kill 2 of their critters here. We're going to have to decide which ones we want to snuff out and which one we want to leave. God Pharaoh's Faithful is going to be a very dangerous creature to leave on the board, as is Sunscape Familiar, but the Seagate Oracle can block and kill our creatures. Another Mesmeric Fiend. So we can only defile for 3. We guaranteed want to get the Sunscape Familiar off the board, so let's get rid of that. And I think we'll snuff out the Faithful. Okay, so at this point we can sacrifice the Brute and start attacking with 2/2s. Okay, so they're going to throw a Mole Drifter onto the board here, which is going to draw them back up. They have a blocker for the Beetles at this point. But if we can draw Carrion Feeder, we're off to the races. Fleshbag Marauder isn't too bad. We'll take those. It's going to make our Mortician Beetles into 4/4s. Alright. Always yes. Always yield. Oh, okay. All this hand is missing is some bugs. Would also be really good with cats. This hand is missing cats. We'll definitely keep it, though. Get some cats. We'll be good to go. Okay, Island into Preordain. Could mean several things. Snuff Out. So I think we probably play the... it's between Feeder and Brute to start. Those are our only 2 options. It's not going to be much of a difference in damage if we play the Brute turn 1 or turn 2. So maybe we'll just play the Feeder here. I think there's more potential damage this way if we wanted to sacrifice something to Carrion Feeder. Your secret is safe with us. And a Delver. Okay, we have Snuff Out to take care of the critter. A secondary Snuff Out, okay. So I think I probably want to play second Feeder, Gingerbrute, Snuff Out the Delver, attack for 2. I love playing with Snuff Out. One of the few free cards that we can still play. And it is strong. Okay, Witch's Cottage is a tapped land. Let's Snuff Out the blocker. Attack for 3. And I think I want to Village Rites a Carrion Feeder here. I think that it was originally printed as an uncommon in Alliances, and subsequently has been printed, I think, as Mythic. Ooh, we got a Cauldron Familiar. That's really good. Yep. I agree with that statement. Okay. Opponents are scooping early here. Look, opponent had 7 cards in hand, 3 lands, and they were still at 14 life. Didn't like the cat? Nobody likes the cat. Cat is strong. Okay, so we're playing against mono blue. Crypt Rats is going to be okay. Mesmeric Fiend might have some value. Okay, so we got to take something out. Maybe we'll take out a little bit of removal. And one more thing. I'm not too sure about that. Anyone in chat know? Two land hand. We have Feeder, Brute, Scorpion, Witch. This is an interesting hand. We'll keep. I think we'll start with the Scorpion, as that it is actually able to attack through a Miscreant. Oh, secondary Miscreant. So they're getting some value there from their card. We could play the Gingerbrute and attack with it through the Miscreant, but that would take all of our mana. Instead, maybe I'll play Brute and Feeder and only attack with the Scorpion. Oh, it's Affinity for plane, or sorry, islands. Affinity for islands, it's called Spire Golem. Oh, Force Spike. Okay. You don't see that very often. Okay. Sounds like I'm going to be opening a chest in the near future. Okay, they're attacking with both their Miscreants and then passing. So they probably have a Spell Stutter Sprite up or Counterspell. I would really love to get this Cauldron Familiar onto the board. Ooh. Iburakima, can you wait until sideboarding? start with Gingerbrute and see if they'll bite. Nice. Okay, so we lose the Brute. Probably should have even went that the other way around, but we got Golden Egg for later. Well, I think this game will not last that long. Sacrifice the Familiar, kill their Spellstutter Sprite, do them 1 damage. Ooh, no, they have Gut Shot. Okay. Let's keep the Carrion Feeder alive. We still get some value from the Serrated Scorpion's activated ability. Now we have a 3/3. Four mana. Ooh, there's a Spire Golem. 2 Spire Golems. Okay. That's trouble. So if we attack with Feeder, they can block with both Golems, and we will lose the Feeder. I'm not into that. Yeah, Team Rocket is blasting off over here. They have 1 card in hand. Golden Egg is a pretty good one, if we get to resolve it. Otherwise, not so much. Maybe we want to just play the Tempting Witch. Either way, they can Spell Stutter. Let's play the Tempting Witch so that we use all our mana here. No way. Ah, they do have the Counterspell. Okay. We're just going to have to pass. Okay, we got Swamp. They have 1 card in hand. Let's play the Egg. It resolves. Okay. Oh, and we get Snuff Out. What a good draw. Okay, actually casting Snuff Out right now is going to be at a detriment. We would be losing more life than the opponent's creatures would deal to us. So we don't need to do that until we have to. We might be able to cast it for 4 mana, for example. They have a ninjutsu. Okay. I wonder if we're supposed to... Yeah, I think we snuff out the ninja so they don't draw the cards. We are losing quite a bit of life for that, but I think I'm fine with that trade. Yeah, we don't want them drawing extra cards. Was supposed to play Crypt Rats, but we can still sacrifice the Lampad if they triple block. Oh, okay. Let me know when you hop back on. and I'll open that chest for you, or I can do it whenever. Okay. Black has the best removal. You're right. Handsome had a good point there. I did make a misplay. I was supposed to sacrifice the Crypt Rats to the Carrion Feeder there. And it would have got an extra pip of power. Swamp off the top. Not the draw we were looking for. I think we have a quote dedicated to that. Okay, we have 2 damage on the board here. Opponent has 2. Really close game, but we managed to win the match there. We're on the draw. We have a 1-land hand. But we have Scorpion and Village Rites. I think I might keep this 1-lander. We play quite a few lands in the deck for such a low curve. Let's see if we can find some off the top. Thriving Isle. Naming white. I wouldn't say that. But do yourself a favor sometime and check out the, I mean, you probably already have, but check out the D&D channel on Twitch when Critical Role is not there. You'll have like maybe 300 viewers looking around in D&D, and there'll be a lot of people streaming. Since the popularity of Critical Role, the option has exploded. So it's a, how would you call that? Saturated market. But I have really appreciated your improv, Handsome. Ooh, we get Swamp right off the top. I like it when that happens. So I think maybe we probably play Carrion Feeder still and Village Rites. The other option is Golden Egg. Ooh, good thing we did the Golden Egg. We're going to be able to put a Mortician Beetle down before playing Village Rites. That's really strong. Well, that's exactly it, and that's kind of how I view my streaming as well. I'm doing it for the pure enjoyment of doing it, and that's enough. So double land here means they could be holding a Prohibit. I think as long as they don't prohibit the Village Rites, it's fine. So let's throw out Carrion Feeder into Mortician Beetle and see what they do. I think we still attack first. You know, the funny thing is that Kappa, to me, it means a Japanese turtle demon. And everyone keeps on Kappa, Kappa, Kappa on Twitch. And I'm like, what does this have to do with Turtle Demon? I don't understand. We baited out the counterspell. They take the Carrion Feeder with it. Nice. Now we get to play Beetle into Village Rites. Not a bad draw either. Okay, let's move on. I think it's fairly common for cultures to develop their own slangs. And as you become more deeply engrossed in the culture, they'll seem more natural to you. Okay, that was quick. Maybe they don't have anything here. If I could get the Carrion Feeder in play, that would be nice. Nice. Okay. Change the helm in the south. Yeah. About time. We're just going to have to wait and see. The suspense is killing me, though. Yeah, I think that we could all learn from that. Okay, so we could do an extra 2 damage by sacrificing the Witch here. On the other hand, keeping the Witch is going to let us do an extra 3 damage next turn. I kind of like keeping the Witch as a form of reach. They're at 6, so we can sacrifice 2 foods over 2 turns to kill them. Yeah, well, they're like, hey, I got some food for you. Would you like this tasty apple? And if opponent doesn't have any dwarves or Prince Charming, then they're going to get put to sleep. Another beetle. Okay, well, let's attack. They got to do something. Okay, they're going to Pulse of Marasa. Yep. So, let's start with this. Okay, they're going to go to 9, and we can deal 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, that's still not enough. Okay, we'll let this happen. And we'll play another golden egg. Okay, so I hit 2 after I cast the golden egg, and I ended up drawing Swamp, so that was a bit of a misclick. This Swamp should be in play. Oh, Gingerbrute. What a great draw. That's true. Gingerbrute is a food and can be used by the witch or used by the cat. They're going to ephemerate the Seagate Oracle. That's fine. We could snuff it out in response, but I don't know if that's necessary. They go to 1 here, and then Tempting Witch finishes them. Maybe they didn't know that the golden egg was food. Maybe they have Weather the Storm. They do have Weather. Okay. So that's going to gain them quite a bit of life. But we are going to snuff out the Seagate Oracle so they don't have a chance to reuse the Ephemerate. We should have also cast that Mortician Beetle. Here I am just hitting 2 all the time, and I'm missing out on potential damage. That's bad. If we sacrifice the Brute... Oh, Stonehorn Dignitary. Good thing we got this Witch. Yeah, I need to play better. Pretty bad at this game. Okay, welcome back. I think this game is just about done, so we'll open up your chest in just a mo. It's true. Witch's Cottage is pretty good. We could put Serrated Scorpion back on top. It'd be nice if we had the Tempting Witch to put back on top, though. Yeah, women often don't appreciate it when you're talking about their booty. Okay, so we're not attacking anytime soon. Opponent has about 1,000,000 cards in hand. The Brute is our final piece of food for the Witch, so we're going to need something more to finish off the game. Well, actually, if the Scorpion resolves, the game is over, right? Nice. They have white and blue mana. I'm blinking. I'm blinking all over the place. If they had green mana, I would have made a different decision, but they have white mana. So I don't think they're going to be gaining life. And we can do all this stuff at instant speed. Not that there's very much to do. Nice. Okay. How do we sideboard against Satan Raken? We want the Fleshbag Marauder, Crypt Rats. I don't think the Fiend is going to be too great. We can probably avoid that. Definitely keep the Verdicts. That's exactly right. 6 cards to go. I'll take out Unearth. Okay. Well, I'm glad that we were able to open that chest for you. I think this is good enough to keep. We have Cauldron Familiar with Village Rites and Golden Egg. So we're going to be able to draw some cards. And Geth's Verdict can take care of one of their early creatures. Okay, Witch's Cottage. If that's the last land we draw, we will be happy with that. Let's play the Familiar and pass. Opponent starts to wonder why I'm playing with uncommons and rares and Pauper. And no blockers. Okay. I think we just play the Golden Egg here. Although we could Carrion Feeder Village Rites. I think that... I would like to get Carrion Feeder out so that we can start attacking with it. Sure hope they don't have Force Spike. Ooh, we get the Tempting Witch. Nice. Gotta say, when I was first looking at this list, I was not too sure about that Witch. But after playing the deck, the Witch is really good. Okay, that's a little bit awkward. Gonna hope for a 1-drop here. Nope. Get another land. Did not want another one. Okay, so Tempting Witch is our best mana play. Nice. That's very on theme. Alright, we'll get the Tempting Witch down. They had no mana up, so they weren't going to be able to do any counter magic. And this is going to give us the reach we're looking for. We have so much food here. So that's already 9 damage with the food that we have. They have 2 mana up, so they could have Prohibit for the Geth's Verdict. No, they're tapping out. Is this going to be an Ephemerate? No, a Sunlance. Ooh, so they're killing our Tempting Witch. Oh, they have a healthy respect for the Witch now that, after what happened last game. We're going to use the Witch's Cottage to put it back on top of the deck. And then we'll draw it with Golden Egg, and we'll Geth's Verdict the Oracle away. Okay, so we could bring the cat back for one of the foods and pump up the Carrion Feeder. We're just going to do that once. But if they try another Sunlance thing on the Carrion Feeder, we can do it a second time with a Golden Egg. The Egg and the Witch. They're from that fairy tale set. Eldraine, I think it's called. Oh, Sunlance. I don't know what set it was originally printed in, but I remember it from Modern Masters. From the Crypt. Ahoy there. Welcome to the stream. Ooh, we are getting a ton of lands here. Alright, so they have green and blue, so they're not going to be able to save the Dignitary from the Defile. That's good news. Let's get that off the board. Play Tempting Witch. And I think we just pass here. We have the option of bringing the Familiar back at some point. But I'm not sure that's going to be better than just using the Witch. Oh, another Dignitary? What a pain. Well, we don't have any way to answer that right now, so it looks like we're just going to be doing the Witch thing for a couple turns. Ooh, Serrated Scorpion, not too bad. Golden Egg. Let's draw a card. Crypt Rats. Ooh, that's a good one. Alright, so we're just going to use the Tempting Witch end of turn here. Another Dignitary. No one's going to be attacking anytime soon. Snuff Out. Okay. We're going to hold that in hand and use it if they try and ephemerate one of their dignitaries or something. And Crypt Rats. We'll put that out because if we get to activate that with all of our mana, that's pretty much good game. They have the Sun Lance. Okay. So we could activate it for 1 and then sacrifice it to the Carrion Feeder. But that saves them from the wrath of the rat. I think we're missing 1 point of damage right now in order to kill them. We have 6 from the Witch and 2 more from the Scorpion, which makes 8. So we should have actually gone, we should have hit the Crypt Rats for 2, but then we wouldn't have had enough mana for the Witch. Okay, so they're going to flicker their 2 dignitaries. I think we probably snuff out one of them at this point. So they'll only get 1 combat skip this way. Another Scorpion. Okay. If they don't have counter magic, well, I don't think they do. I'm pretty sure this is GG. Nice. Okay, so Carves is one of the trophy leaders. So we lucked out and we got to play against 2 of the top Pauper players this league. We are on the draw. We have a 1 land hand, but we have plenty of things to do with 1 mana. We're going to keep. It's the only way. Oh, wow. Straight to the political views. No danger of getting kicked off the platform. Okay, Terramorphic Expanse to start. I think that we can start with almost any of our critters here. Although if we go Gingerbrute into Gingerbrute, I think that's the most damage. Maybe besides Cauldron Familiar into Gingerbrute, because that's both 3. I wonder, when people double queue, I wonder if they use 2 screens. Damn, no lands. Okay. Brandy uses 3 screens. There you go. That way you can double queue and stream at the same time. Ooh, Agony Warp. Okay. Interesting. The opponent is using the snow-covered islands to hide what type of blue deck they are, but they don't bother with the snow-covered swamps. Because once you've seen swamp, you know that snow-covered no longer matters. Ugh. Okay, so back onto the opponent's turn here. Starting out with a Ponder, they choose not to shuffle. So they've found what they're looking for, which is going to put us in a heap of trouble. Oh, they got a Gurmag Angler. So we need land now. We need to cast this Guess Verdict before they can put another creature onto the board. And we miss again. Okay. So we can't really do anything. The Snuff Out does not target black creatures, so the Gurmag Angler is safe. We can play Serrated Scorpion or Carrion Feeder. We're going to play the Scorpion. It's the best blocker of the bunch. Oh, and they have Force Spike. We can take a hit. We can take 2 or 3. Land. Cast down on the Gingerbrute, huh? Alright, I think we can concede this one. Well, opponent only has 3 cards left in hand. Let's see. Let's stick around a little while longer. We're not dead yet. Oh, they draw Counterspell? I was hoping they would whiff on that Augur, like we've been whiffing on lands. Okay, Guess Verdict is no longer going to take care of that Angler unless we can get rid of that Augur first. Nice. Okay. So they have twice as many lands as I do. And I have 1 more card in hand than they do. Now 2 more cards in hand. We know they have Counterspell. So I'm thinking Carrion Feeder this turn. Otherwise, I would like to play Golden Egg. They could also just have Spellstutter Sprite, and that would make my play real bad. But we know they only have 3 cards in hand. Okay, they're going to counterspell the Carrion Feeder. And going for the Brainstorm. So that's going to set them up with some options. Oh, it looks like they have another Gurmag Angler. Okay, we do not have an answer to that. But we do still have 1 Geth's Verdict in the deck. Gingerbrute. Okay, let's play the Golden Egg. We can use that to bring the Cauldron Familiar back. Ooh, another Force Spike. Brutal. So we're just going to have to take the 5 to the face. Because Carrion Feeder cannot block. Those Force Spikes have been so good for the opponent. That's not something that we generally seen. We're going to Village Rites the Carrion Feeder after attacking, and hope that we can get a land so that we can sacrifice the Gingerbrute for some life or something, or we can sacrifice it for the Cauldron Familiar. Cancel that. No way they're going to block. There's those lands we've been missing. No flip? No, they flip. Okay, so we lose. I'll even have an Echoing Decay. This puts us to 3, but the Aberration kills us. We'll keep this. Right, so Carves is saying that they were already using Force Spike in their deck when they had Fall from Favor, and more people are using it now because the aggro decks that use few lands are becoming more popular. Case in point, the deck we're playing right here. And anything that Carves does, other people are going to emulate that because Carves has done the work and they're at the top of the leaderboard. Other people are going to respect the choices that they've made. Okay, if we can get this Fleshbag Marauder to resolve next turn, our Mortician Beetle will attack as a 3/3. Okay, so they're tapping off one of their islands, so they won't have Counterspell available, but they could still have Force Spike. Nope, they're putting another Delver down. So we're going to get this Fleshbag going. Oh, another Beetle? I don't think we can wait, though. Okay, let's race. Next turn, we're looking at playing Beetle second Marauder. And we might attack with a 5/5 Beetle. The insect might be as big as a fish. Could get bigger. Yeah, it's just like Mana Tithe. The raid. Ekros with 25. Thanks a lot for coming by. How was your stream? Classic. The value. We're just coming to the end of our league. We're in match 5 against one of the trophy leaders in Pauper, Carves. Played Standard and Vintage. Sweet. What were you playing in Vintage? Tinker Breach. Cool. Yeah, I was playing Magic when Tinker was first released. That was, one hell of a Magic card. Hello, Chuck. Yeah, we've been talking about how powerful the Force Spike has been today. Seen a couple of different decks using it, and it seemed very, very good. Okay, they're tapping. Brainstorm. I think this is game 2, match 5, down a game. So they have 2 mana up. They could have Counterspell. They could have Spellstutter Sprite. We could Mortician Beetle into Village Rites. I kind of want to just play the Marauder so that I can play it through a Spike. But they could just have Counterspell, right? So maybe I play Beetle and then Marauder and try and race them. Okay, it looks like they have something here. Oh, that's right. I forgot. Double queuing. So we can't take any of these pauses to mean that our opponent is thinking about a counterspell. I think that if we end up going to a game 3, Carves is going to have to be very careful about their chess clock. Yeah, maybe. That's not something that I've ever really been too worried about, because I'm not playing like really big tournaments. The counterspell coming up. Yep. I don't think that I would be as comfortable streaming some of the challenges, some of the big weekend tournaments. Oh, Stormbound Geist. Okay, that's a problem. Golden Egg. Okay, that draws us a card. Village Rites draws us 2 cards. Let's see what we can draw with a Golden Egg, which is Cottage. So we can put a Fleshbag Marauder back on top of the library. Unfortunately, we won't have the mana to cast it this turn, but we could Village Rites into it. Okay. They're not going to block or anything. We just get the extra damage. Okay. Thank you. I forget about that sometimes. This can only block creatures with flying. Oh, another Fleshbag Marauder. Okay. So at this point, it looks like we're going to be using the golden egg to gain some life. But that is instant speed, so we can do that during the opponent's turn. Just the most flesh. Cycling the Suffocating Fumes. They don't have any black mana. We don't have any creatures that's going to work on. And they get the Relic. Not a bad hit. That does stop the cat. Okay, swing for 5, and we'll gain 3 life. Opponent is tapped out. If we Fleshbag, they sacrifice the Geist. We Fleshbag a second time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't have enough mana to cast both Fleshbags this turn. But we can Fleshbag and Egg. So we won't be in much danger of dying, I think. And I mean sacrifice the egg, not play the egg. Well, then again, we're only taking 6 here, go to 3. It's probably fine to just play the other egg. This beetle is going to be brutal. Yes, they will. They will sack the Geist. This is going to do extra damage, though. So our Mortician Beetle is going up to a 6/6, which makes it a 2-turn clock. And they won't be able to kill us with their 6 damage. We have Golden Egg ready to go. Pretty sure we just want to save this egg here. Just gain life. We do have the option of casting this egg. I don't think they can punish us. They're not going to have any way to do direct damage. They're not going to be able to boost. So I think we can just play this other egg. Okay, so we'll draw a card, and then we'll pass. Ooh, okay. Okay, so the relic's gone, they draw a card, they still haven't found Swamp. They're brainstorming now. They found Terramorphic Expanse, so that does get them Swamp, but they're not going to be able to Snuff Out this turn. So our Mortician Beetle is still safe for another turn. And a Serrated Scorpion to go with it. Okay, they have to block. And if they have removal spell for the Beetle, we can cast Village Rites in response. Ooh, good draws. Okay, so far so good. I think that we have this game. I think we're going to be going to a game 3. No cards with the Augur. Brutal. That should do it. Okay. Hard-fought game there, but we managed to pull it out. I don't think we'll make any changes to the list. Crypt Rats could be interesting. But I really like the way the Fleshbag Marauders worked that game. Between the Mortician Beetle and the Witch's Cottage. That worked out pretty well. I think that one of the misconceptions that I had about this deck in particular is that I thought that it was a very all-in aggressive deck. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's very aggressive, but the amount of inevitability that the deck has surprised me. You mean Thorn of the Black Rose? Absolutely. So, Tempting Witch has actually impressed me the most out of all the cards besides Mortician's Beetle, because it's been giving us reach. So, when we're playing against Tron and we're playing against Familiars, the Tempting Witch is able to continue to do damage to the opponent through their Moment's Peace and through their Stonehorns. It's pretty easy for a Witch to do 9 damage, so that's a lot of reach. You always go Rakdos for your sack decks? Cool, cool. Keep these. Reaping the Graves is pretty great here. So I'm trying to think what else you get in Rakdos. Onion Lotus. Thanks for the follow, friend. So, I mean, obviously in Rakdos you have access to some of the best red spells. Lightning Bolt, for example. Oh, I see, I see. So, yeah, when we're talking about Modern, absolutely. You have, I mean, the Mayhem Devil for sure. Judith, absolutely. Okay. What are the odds that they have Force Spike? Let's start with Cauldron Familiar, because if they Force Spike it, we can get it back. No Force Spike, it's an Ash Barrens. I do really appreciate, though, them waiting till I cast the spell, tap the mana, like here comes Force Spike. Nope. Fumes. Okay. So we're going to have to watch out for that. We get Lampad. Okay. So I think we just play the Lampad here and pass. If we played the Mortician Beetle, they would be able to Suffocating Fumes on their turn, and we would lose our board. So this way they can Suffocating Fumes to trade with a familiar, but that's not a very good trade. Yeah. Hissing Iguana? Hissing Iguana Gargadon? What? Okay, they're going to cast down the Lampad. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. 3-1 for 3 mana is a little bit dangerous, but sweet card. Okay, so we got the golden egg. So that's going to allow us to do things with the familiar. And we also have Defile to kill the augur. Ooh, Gingerbrute. I think we'll just pass here. And then we can Defile the augur during their turn, so that we don't get blown out by Force Spike. Okay, they have the Dispel. We get another Beetle. Those fumes, though, what a hassle. I don't really want to cast down an augur, you know? Seems like a waste. This is better for Gurmag Angler. Could Gingerbrute attack for 1? Could Gingerbrute and then hold it up to sacrifice it for gain 3 life? None of these seem really good. Alright, I think I'm going to Gingerbrute attack for 1. Or, either that or I can hold it up for life. I'm going to hold up the life. And if they want to tap 3 of their lands to use Suffocating Fumes, then that is an option they have. Ooh, Relic. Okay, that's a pretty good one. We're going to be able to get rid of our cat. Okay, are they putting an angler down? They are. Alright. They have 1 blue up. So I don't want to cast the cast down into a Force Spike here. Okay, we got the angler. Nice. Let's hit him for 1. Kind of hoping for land off the top, so we can go Beetle Beetle and hold up Sacrifice Gingerbrute. Nope. Okay. So maybe we just play Beetle attack. Thanks for that, Morgan Corn. Okay, so they do the suffocating fumes in response to the Mortician Beetle. So I'm not going to get the plus that I could from the Gingerbrute that way. I think I still gained the life, though. I could also play Lampad. No Force Spike. Yeah, opponent only has one card left. Going up to 2 now. They have access to one more card with the Progenitus. And we know they have access to a counterspell, because they showed it to us through the Delver. Okay, so we're in a pretty difficult position here. They have a Quick Clock and a counterspell. Cauldron Familiar. Neat. Oh, they're going to counterspell the Cauldron Familiar. Okay. Let's put another food. We did have 4 beetles at one point. Opponent killed. Opponent killed Lennon, and we killed them with the rest of the beetles. Okay, another auger. And they get a cast down with the auger. Brutal. But they're not going to cast it yet. They're going to continue to build up their board here. Not great. Opponent has a difficult block here to consider. Okay. I would say that's probably the ideal block for me. I'll just sacrifice the Cauldron Familiar, then I can Reaping the Graves in response to their cast down. Or I could go for 8, 9, 10, put them to 6. Oh, they do not flip the Delver. Okay, they're going to cast down one of our Beetles. Beetles are dropping like flies. Our clocks have become quite close as well. Must be June bugs. Brrr, thump. I want to keep the mana for Reaping the Graves. No flip, no flip. Damn, they got a flip. Oh, and that's going to be really good versus us, too. That's brutal. They got Suffocating Fumes. Knocked out our Cauldron Familiar and our Beetle. As well as flipping their insect. Ooh, cast down's not bad. They have no cards in hand. 4, 5, 6, 7. I think we're just off of lethal. Cast down the Augur, attack, do 5, they're at 3, and then we do 2 more, put them to 1. Alternatively, we could play Fleshbag Marauder. They sacrifice probably Augur of Bolus. We sacrifice Marauder. Then we hit them for a ton. It would be 6, Okay, so they have to sacrifice an insect to the Marauder so they can block the Beetle. Oh, they... What? I think we win. They have no cards in hand. They sacrificed the wrong creature. Ooh. 4-1. And we managed to defeat 2 trophy leaders on that run. Okay. I am pretty satisfied with that. Let's take one last look at the deck here. Thank you, Morgancorn. Okay, we're going to talk about the deck for a minute and then do a raid on another streamer. But before we take a look at who's streaming, I want to break down how I feel about this deck, and we'll go from there. So like I was saying before, there were some choices about this deck that I didn't really understand before I played it. Having played the deck now, I would say that the main is very well constructed, and I absolutely love the way the cards are working together. Tempting Witch was definitely a card that I did not expect to be as strong as it turned out to be. The Mortician's Beetle was one of the reasons that I wanted to play this deck, and it performed for sure. Unearth is fairly interesting in this deck, being able to return Tempting Witch, but I think that it's probably one of the weaker cards in the list. Being able to play Snuff Out is very strong, and having a removal spell that you can tap out, play your creatures, and then still be able to take care of a blocker before you attack is very nice. The Fleshbag Marauder out of the sideboard was incredible. One of the best cards in the sideboard for sure. Reaping the Graves, I think that anytime you can play a one of, you probably should. And as you saw in that final game of the league, Reaping the Graves did its job. We did not get a chance to use the Unexpected Fangs, but I think that would be very strong versus other aggro decks like Stompy or against Burn. If you have any interest in playing Swamps, and only Swamps, in Pauper, then I think that this would be a better choice than going for Mono Black Control. The classic Mono Black Control list is a ton of fun. I really enjoy it, but I think that you are going to get better results with this one. Being able to attack your opponent for some real damage is pretty important. And like I was saying before, the reach that this deck has is surprising. Your opponents will not expect you to be hitting them for 3 damage a turn with Tempting Witch. And then the incidental damage the Cauldron Familiar can do turn after turn as you're sacrificing it to Carrion Feeder and growing your Mortician Beetles can be pretty important. Well, thank you everyone for sticking with me for this league. Once again, highly recommend this deck. if you're looking to get into playing some Black and Pauper. Okay, I'm going to find us someone to raid. So if anyone has any questions, go ahead and throw them up in chat, and I'll see if I can give you some answers while we're looking for someone else to watch. All right, who's at the bottom of the list today? You know, I can't quite remember. Yeah, I'm going to take a second here, and I'm going to find out. Okay, so let's take a break here just for a second from looking for people to raid. So we had a mulligan. It was Atog. We lost against Atog. The opponent has very good creatures for cheap, so their creatures were able to block ours no problem. And then they also have access to a combo finish. So while we weren't able to clock them, they were able to continuously draw cards, etc., get the Atog down, and just womp, kill us. So this does look like a fairly difficult matchup for the deck. That's right, Morgan Corn. You remember, I fat-shamed my opponent's creatures because they all got big butts. Alright, we know how this ends. I lost, so we don't really need to see this anymore. And if you would like to check out the earlier games with commentary, I will be putting them up onto YouTube. So they'll probably be up on YouTube 4, maybe 5 hours. Gonna have to do a little bit of editing, then it takes a while to actually upload it. Very cool. Okay, so we've got another Pauper player here. Alex Weber. We're going to give them the raid. They're playing Gruul Land Destruction. All right. Well, you're welcome, and thank you very much for showing up and being a part of this with us. Okay, got the raid ready to go. Let's go watch some more Magic. Thanks everyone again for stopping by, and I hope you have a wonderful day.